Everybody wants to get in shape, regardless of age or gender. Deciding to get in shape or to make a change in life, that's the easy part. The hard part is to learn how to get in shape and make a change, and then how to follow through. This video is meant to be a beginner's guide to get anyone on their feet and starting on their body transformation journey. I'll be talking about nutrition and exercise with a 6-week summer challenge in mind, but the information is universal. I encourage you to watch the video all the way through and then take immediate action. You may even want to take some quick notes during the video or write yourself reminders. By the end, you should have a better understanding of what goes into a good training plan and a good nutrition plan. Then I'll give you some extra tips and tricks to help you actually stick to your plans and follow through, because that's the half of the battle. A body transformation is so much more than training. This is what I do for actors all the time. I am so happy to help you do the same. If you're serious about getting in shape and you're investing time and sweat into transforming your body, you need a proper training plan. This means everything from how long you spend at the gym, how often you go, the activities you choose, and what your goals are. You can create a training plan by yourself, but it's a lot easier if you take advice from someone who's educated or has a strong track record. A coach can create an entire plan for you, designed to help you reach your ideal body. To make any training plan, you need to set goals that you can reach through a training plan. You may think that you know what your goals are, but having an ideal weight or an ideal body image is not the same as having a tangible objective that you can reach through a training plan. This is your opportunity to get specific. A lot of people want to lose a dramatic amount of weight or build up a ton of muscle, but we all start somewhere, and that somewhere should be realistic. Think of it as your first segment of your journey, which hopefully will be lifelong. This guide is focused on a 6-week transformation, so you can use that as a reference and decide how much weight loss or muscle gain makes sense for you in 6 weeks. Again, try to be realistic. A typical guideline for weight loss is 1 to 2 pounds of weight per week, so your goal could be to lose 9 or 10 pounds by the end of 6 weeks. And finally, you should give some thought how you're going to measure your goals. You can use a basic scale, a measuring tape, and a mirror, but those tools aren't exact science. For example, muscle weighs more than fat, and if you're building your muscles at the same time as you're losing fat, your weight might actually go up instead of down. So how you measure your goals is something to consider as well. My next tip is to figure out how much time you can dedicate to training. You probably have an idea, but I want to encourage you all to really dig deep into the specifics. Any amount is acceptable as long as your goal is realistic. Getting started is often the hardest part, and creating a sustainable habit is the second hardest part. So your 2 priorities here is to pick something that you'll stick to and pick something that will help you reach your goals. For example, maybe you can only make it to the gym on the weekend. That can work, but your goal has to line up, and those sessions will have to be longer and harder. While all those tips are very important, my 4th tip is where things get dicey. A good training plan needs to include the correct variety of exercises to reach your goals. Exercises are classified 2 ways: as a compound exercise or an isolation exercise. Most exercises are compound, which means they affect multiple muscle groups at the same time. A good example of a compound movement is a squat. Isolation exercises only focus on one muscle group or muscle groups. For example, a bicep curl. You see? Only bicep. Even if you're priority to get nice biceps, your training plan needs to include compound exercises for the best results. If you put too much focus on certain muscles, you can create a muscle imbalance in your body and increase your risk of injury. In my programs, you will always find a balance between compound exercises and isolation exercises. I simply think that you need both, and I normally start with the big compound movements to later in the session go into more isolated movements. Don't forget that cardio is important too. You want to make sure to work the heart just as much as you work the muscles. So my final training tip is to rest. Taking days off is important. Your body needs time to rest and recover just as much as it needs training. I never train less than 3 days a week, and I never do more than 6 times a week. For me, the sweet spot's around 5 days a week. I know it's tempting to skip rest days, especially if you love starting your day in the gym. The problem is that you will harming your progress and your body if you don't take rest days. Every time you push yourself in the gym, your muscles are torn. They'll grow back stronger, but only if you give them enough time to recover afterwards. How much rest you need depends on the intensity of your workouts, which is why it's important to figure out the key details of your training plan first. A general rule of thumb is that the more you're pushing yourself while training, the more you'll need to rest afterwards. And when I work a muscle group really hard, I make sure to allow it at least 48 hours of recovery before I target that muscle group again. So I have put together a 6-week summer body challenge. And this challenge is for anyone, regardless if you're a beginner or advanced, young, old. The goal with this challenge is to build lean muscle mass, shred fat, and shape that summer body that you always wanted. As always, we're gonna have amazing prizes for the winners, and I'm putting dates on the screen when it starts. If you're watching this video soon after it drops, be sure to sign up and join. In case you missed the Summer Body Transformation Challenge, I have challenges running multiple times a year, so just check the website for more details. The link is in the description. Every training plan starts at the dining table. Following a nutrition plan is just as important as a good training plan. Whether you want to build muscle or lose fat, one thing that a lot of people don't understand is that you cannot out-train a poor diet. The secret is that exercise is not necessary at all to lose weight. You see, a full hour in the gym might burn 500-600 calories, but one Frappuccino from Starbucks might contain the same amount of calories or even more. It is way too easy to eat back all those calories that you just burned in that session, and that's why you need to get on top of nutrition. Maybe you don't care about weight loss. Sadly, it's the same thing if you want to build muscle mass. Without giving your body enough fuel and nutrients, your training might go to waste. So yes, you do need a nutrition plan no matter what your goals are. If you only take one thing with you from this video, it should be to make both a training plan and a nutrition plan. To build a successful diet, you need to understand and utilize calorie control. If you want to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. Yes, you heard it right. Calorie deficit if you want to lose weight. That's eating less calories in a day than what you spend. It can be challenging to control your calories if you've never done it before. You might want to buy a kitchen scale to simplify the process. For your 6 weeks, try to pick out recipes with nutrition cards in advance as much as possible. It will cut down how much effort you need to put into counting calories. It's important to know that you can count calories no matter what diet you're on. Whether you're trying to intermittent fasting, keto, vegan, or any other diet. So long as you're in a calorie deficit, you will lose weight. But that's not the only thing that matters. Which brings me to my next tip. Not only do you have to control the calories, you need to stay on top of your macros as well. Macros are short for macronutrients, the main nutrients we get our food from. The 3 categories of macronutrients are protein, fat, and carbs. Meat, fish, beans, tofu are all major sources of protein. Starchy foods and grain-based foods like bread, pasta, potatoes tend to be high in carbs. And fatty foods include avocado, cream, butter, oils, just to give you an idea of what to look out for. To simplify, protein's the building blocks of muscle and tissue. Fat and carbs both act as your body's fuel source. You need to make sure to eat enough protein during a cut or a diet. This is to keep or build muscle, but also to maintain the health of your hair, nails, skin, and so on. Research has shown that high protein diets help our metabolism and help us burn fat. So during a bulk or maintenance or a cut, I make sure to keep my protein high, but I make sure to change the level of carbs and fat that I'm eating. So on a cut, I would keep the protein high, but eat a little less fat and carbs. Yes, Calorie deficit is the only thing you need to lose weight, but controlling your macros is necessary to stay healthy and train your body. My tip is to really make sure you understand the relationship between macros and calories. You see, you can dial in your macros and still be overeating calories and you will not lose weight. And you can dial in your calories and still not get in shape or feel good. Let me give you a little example. If you and I are on the same 1500 calorie diet and I eat ice cream, 1500 calories of ice cream every day, and you eat fish, vegetables, rice, potatoes. Yes, we'll both lose weight, but who do you think is going to keep their muscle mass, stay healthy, and live a longer life? It's not going to be me. Which means if you're making a nutrition plan by yourself, you need to pay attention to macros. Every recipe can be broken down into macros. Try to get used to organizing your meals based on them. Always start with prioritizing protein. Now let's talk about following through with all your plans. Making them is the easy part, and the hard part is taking on the challenge all 42 days. Before I get into the mental aspect of your journey, we need to talk about sleep. Having rest days isn't enough. Good sleep is crucial for your mind and body to recover. Poor sleep can cause brain fog, faulty decision making, and even throw up your appetite and create worse cravings. And your body needs sleep to repair and build up your muscles after a workout. During the 6 weeks, I want to challenge you to try practice better sleep hygiene if that's something you're struggling with. My next tip is to tell your friends about your transformation journey. I think it's a great way of letting people know around you that you're starting on a challenge like this. To manifest something out loud usually helps us stick to something and follow through. Hey Sean.
What's up, man?
I just wanted to let you know that I'm starting on a 6-week transformation journey today. Just so you know. It's also a way of making sure that people around you can support you and not lead you into temptation. Whether that temptation is convincing you to order pizza when you suggest chicken and rice, or giving you the look when you decide to go to the gym over going to the mall. But there's a big caveat with telling your friends. You need to be careful about depending on them. And by that I mean, this is your journey. Don't depend on your friends or family to do this with you. Even if your friend skips leg day and you don't, it'll be problematic when your program's out of sync and your friends got leg day when you're on chest. Or what happens when your bestie that you're teaming up with, when he or she wants to have a pizza instead of something healthy. I'm not saying you can't team up, but be careful and always have the mindset that you're on this journey alone. Remember, it's your journey and no one can take it for you. My next tip is to not rely on motivation. Motivation is overrated, and if you depend on motivation alone, you are going to fail. It's all about showing up, no matter what you feel. Imagine only showing up to work when you're motivated. Your challenge would turn into getting fired in less than 6 weeks. The Rock has a quote that I really like. He said, "Success isn't always about greatness, it's about consistency." Consistent hard work leads to success. Greatness will come. That is very true when it comes to getting in shape with both training and dieting. You can have the best training plan and the best nutrition plan, but if you don't show up, you'll never get what you want. Tip number 4 is to be kind to yourself and keep a positive mental attitude. Something that I see a lot is when we make a change in our lives and we're not immediately satisfied or happy with where we are, we start to be way too hard on ourselves. Focus on the positive things about yourself and how great it is that you're actually making a change for the better. The reason why I think this is so important is because you don't want to punish yourself mentally for taking the first steps towards change. If you focus on the negativity, you will make your journey so much harder than it already is. My last tip is very universal. It applies to almost everything in your 6-week journey and beyond, and that is balance. Maybe the most important thing in a lifestyle change is balance. If you're too extreme, you will probably never be able to sustain that extreme diet plan or workout plan. And if you do, it's going to be poor life. Make sure to eat foods that you like every once in a while, and don't be afraid of taking a day off if your body needs it. That's my last tip for transforming your body in only 6 weeks. But before you go, don't forget to check out the challenge I'm running in my app. And if you missed this one, there's always another one coming right up. I hope this video helped some of you. I know how hard it is to just be starting out and making these huge changes in your life. I want you to share your current plans for taking the 6-week summer challenge or your experience in trying these types of challenges in the past. Go ahead and leave a comment.